Mummies are a staple of modern popular culture and are often featured in fictional works of horror. While there has never been any stories of real mummies reanimating, examination of their bodies does provide significant insight into the past. By studying these mummies, we know what they ate, how they spent the last few days of their life, their medical history, and even their cause of death. Most of the oldest mummies ever discovered were naturally preserved by such factors as arid desert heat, mud, or layers of thick ice. The oldest intentionally mummified people were found in South America and date back to about 5000 BC, thousands of years before Egyptians started preserving their dead. 10 oldest mummies in the world. Number 10. Ramesses II. Ramesses II, also known as Ramesses the Great, is often considered to be the greatest, most powerful, and most celebrated pharaoh of the ancient Egyptian empire. He was the third pharaoh of Egypt's 19th dynasty and ruled from 1279–1213 BCE. Ramesses II was originally buried in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings, but was later transferred because of looting by priests to the tomb of Queen Enhepe. His body was moved again 3 days later to the tomb of High Priest Penujum II. This story is inscribed on the linen covering his body. During examinations of Ramesses I's body, researchers discovered that he was originally a redhead and that he had arthritis, which caused him to walk with a hunched back toward the end of his life. Number 9. King Tutankhamun. The discovery of King Tutankhamun's, commonly called King Tut tomb, is one of the most famous archaeological finds of the modern era. His tomb is one of the most intact ever found, and it has produced more than 5,398 artifacts. Since Tutankhamun's tomb and body were well preserved, researchers have been able to learn much about royal burials, mummification, and the tombs of ancient Egypt's 18th dynasty. Because not much was initially known about Tutankhamun's death, there have been several conspiracy theories proposed that have infiltrated popular culture through movies, TV, and fictional books. However, researchers believe that Tutankhamun's death was unexpected and accidental, which explains why no records exist about his death and why his burial chamber was small for a pharaoh. Number 8. Egtved Girl. Egtved Girlis, a well-known mummy from Denmark, which was buried in a well-preserved coffin that was uncovered in 1921. Although the tree trunk coffin was well preserved, Thegirl's bones did not survive and only her clothing, hair, nails, and some teeth were in good condition. Also inside of her coffin were the cremated remains of a child that was about 5 or 6 years old. Historians believe that the young lady was a priestess of a Scandinavian sun cult because of the spiral symbols on her belt. More recent research has revealed that the girl was not originally from Denmark, but was from the Black Forest in Germany. It is believed that she may have married a chieftain in Denmark to form a strategic alliance. Number 7. Amenhotep I. The mummy of Amenhotep I is unique and features one of the most exquisite and well-preserved face masks of any royal Egyptian mummy. Since the face mask is so delicate and beautiful, Amenhotep I is the only royal mummy who has not been unwrapped and studied by modern Egyptologists. Amenhotep I was the second pharaoh of Egypt's 18th dynasty. He ruled from about 1526 BCE until his death in 1506 BC. Sometime during the 20th, 1189 BCE 1077 BC, or 21 Street 1069 BC, to 945 BCE dynasty, Amenhotep I's mummy was moved from its original resting place, which is unknown to the Deir el-Bahari cache, and hidden with other royal mummies from Egypt's New Kingdom time period. Number 6. Lady Rai. Lady Rai is one of the oldest known mummies uncovered in Egypt. She was discovered in 1881, and researchers estimate that she was about 30 to 40 years old when she died around 1530 BCE. From the writings left behind about Lady Rai, we know that she was the nursemaid to Queen Ahmose Nefertari, who was the first queen of the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt. The mummified body of Ahmose Enhepe, the aunt of Ahmose Nefertari, was found in Lady Rai's outer coffin. In 2009, researchers conducted a CAT scan of Lady Rai's body and discovered that she had atherosclerosis. She is the oldest known mummy with the disease, and several other Egyptian mummies also show signs of atherosclerosis. Number 5. T. the Iceman. T. the Icemanus, one of the most famous mummies in the world. His accidental discovery in 1991 by two German tourists on a hike immediately drew worldwide media coverage. Since he was recovered from the Testel Alps, which he's named after, he has been extensively studied. Due to the location of his death, T's body was well preserved by the ice. Through different tests, we now know several things about T. He has living relatives who share a common ancestor that lived 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. He had over 50 tattoos across his body, some of the oldest tattoos ever discovered. He had anatomical abnormalities as well as several health problems, and his diet consisted of pollen and goats. In 2012, scientists were able to extract red blood cells from T's body. Number 4. Ghibelline Man, Ginger. The Ghibelline man is the most well-known of the 6 naturally mummified bodies discovered in graves near Ghibelline, now called Naga el Guerrera, Egypt. The Ghibelline man was the first uncovered at the site in 1896, and since 1901, the body has been displayed at the British Museum. The mummy was nicknamed Ginger because of its visibly red hair. In 2012, new research revealed that the Ghibelline man was probably murdered. Researchers have always noted the wound on the surface of the mummy's skin, but did not discover how damaged his body was until they conducted a digital autopsy. They discovered that his shoulder blade as well as the rib under that shoulder blade were damaged, which suggests he died a violent death. Number 3. Tashwinat Mummy. The Tashwinat mummy found at the Wan Muhagiag archaeological site in Libya is between 5,400 to 5,600 years old. The age of the mummy is significant because it predates any of the mummies found in neighboring Egypt. It was discovered by Professor Fabrizio Mori in 1958. The mummy is a small child, about 3 years old, that was found in the fetal position. The body was embalmed, carefully wrapped with leaves, and covered by an antelope skin. Its entrails were replaced with wild herbs to help with its preservation. The Tashwinat mummy is currently the oldest known mummy from Africa. Since its discovery, researchers now believe that mummification in Africa did not start in Egypt, but probably elsewhere in the continent by an unknown civilization. Number 2. Chinchorro mummies. Thekhinkoro mummies are considered to be some of the oldest mummies in the world. Since they were first discovered in 1917, over 282 mummies have been uncovered at burial sites along the narrow coastal strip from Ilo in southern Peru to Antofagasta in northern Chile. About 29% of the mummies were naturally preserved, including the oldest mummy in the group, the Aka man. Around 5000 BC, the Chinchorro people began purposely mummifying their dead, about 2,000 years before the Egyptians started the practice. The Chinchorro continued to preserve their dead until about 3000 BC, and developed 3 distinct styles of mummification: black, red, and mud-coated. Number 1. Spirit Cave Mummy. The Spirit Cave Mummy is the oldest known mummy in the world and is over 9,400 years old. It was first discovered in 1940 by Sidney and Georgia Wheeler, a husband and wife archaeological team. The Spirit Cave Mummy was naturally preserved by the heat and aridity of the cave it was found in. In 1997, the Paiute Shoshone tribe of Nevada's Fallon Reservation enacted the Native American Grave Protection and Repatriation Act NAGPRA to claim the Spirit Cave Mummy's remains. For nearly 2 decades, the Paiute Shoshone tribe fought a legal battle against the U.S. government, who did not want to return the mummy. In 2016, the mummy was finally returned to the Paiute Shoshone tribe, after its DNA was sequenced to determine that he was related to contemporary members of the tribe. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.